What a tremendous moment this is for the Hill District and for the historic New Granada. I am Roderick Craig here. Order in the court. All right, I'm Roderick Craig, Chair of the Hill Community Development Corporation Board of Directors. On behalf of our board, both past and present, our dedicated Hill CDC staff, and everyone who helped carry this vision forward, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this momentous occasion. For nearly a century, and we can all recall, this historic building has stood as a symbol of Black culture, creativity, enterprise, and community pride. A place where music, culture, and community came alive. There were times where this treasured landmark was in danger of being lost forever. But the Hill CDC and the people of the Hill District and many committed partners refused to let that happen. They believed that this building and the history it holds was worth preserving. And because they pressed forward, we are sitting here today and standing here today. So once again, let's clap for that. Today, we celebrate the completion of phase one. We celebrate the restoration of a promise. We honor those who came before us, those who fought to preserve this landmark, and those whose determination brought us to this day. As the New Granada marquee shines again, which we can't wait to see, may it reignite a beacon of hope, resilience, perseverance, and possibility throughout the Hill District, the city of Pittsburgh, the region, and our nation. This building represents where we have been, but even more importantly, it represents where we are going. It is truly my honor to welcome you to and to share this historic celebration with you. Welcome to the New Granada. Welcome to a new chapter for the Hill District. Now, coming to the podium next will be the City of Pittsburgh Mayor, Corey O'Connor, followed by Karamanji Rajaba from the Pittsburgh History and Landmarks Foundation, delivering comments on behalf of the National Trust for Historic Preservation. Thank you all and enjoy the evening.
Good evening, everybody. How are you? Oh, come on. You got to be a little more excited than that. It's a historic day. Let's go. Remember, it's a theater. We can make a lot of noise and cheer. We are here to celebrate. We are here to celebrate the history of this neighborhood. We are here to celebrate the pioneers in the arts and culture industry across the city of Pittsburgh. But we're also here to celebrate the people that got us here tonight. And let's not forget the visionaries that made this happen. Not only from the University of Pittsburgh, who helped support this, but when it comes to the neighborhood, it doesn't happen without the Hill CDC. And we cannot thank the leadership there more. And I want to give a special shout out to Marimba Alliance and we look about how we rebuild a community while looking at the past and building the future. This is an iconic building that we should all be proud of. That we should be proud that this happened. Yes, it took some time, but it's determination that gets us through these projects. And it doesn't happen without that. So on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh, we also have to thank our partners at the state level. We have 2 state representatives here, and I do see them somewhere. But we have Representative Arian Abney is here. And we have Representative Latasha Mays, who is also here. Because projects like this happen when you have the state, the city, and the county working together. Because this is a place that is going to be home for a lot of our residents. This is going to be home to a lot of our future artists and entrepreneurs. And it is great that it is right here on our main street in the Hill District. So on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh, congratulations to everybody who made this happen. Congratulations to the neighborhood. And let's continue to celebrate tonight. Thank you very much. I already messed up. I'm sorry.
I'm Bill Bates. I'm here representing the National Trust for Historic Preservation. I'm a board member of the trust, and I also happen to be a Pittsburgh. So this means a lot to me. I believe it. And I know how long it took. And so, as a representative of the trust, I'm here to bring greetings on behalf of Brent Legs and Tiffany Tolbert with the National Trust for Historic Preservation, and it's an African American Cultural Heritage Action Fund. It's an honor to join you today as we celebrate the completion of phase one of the historic New Granada, a place that's long stood in the heart of the Hill District and is once again becoming a source of possibility for the community. It's been the heart of this community, the cultural heart. The National Trust African American Cultural Heritage Action Fund is incredibly proud to be a funder and partner of the Hill Community Development Center Corporation. And we believe deeply in Hill CDC's commitment to the social and economic vitality of Hill District residents, business owners, entrepreneurs, aspiring homeowners, creatives, and cultural workers. And today, we get to see what that commitment looks like in action. The New Granada is a place that carries the stories, the aspirations, creativity, and resilience of generations of Hill District residents. The preservation is not only about saving a building, it's about generating conditions for a community to shape its own future, and that's what today symbolizes. As an architect, I'm so proud to see this preserve. We build places that hold history and memories for families and generations. Across the country, African American communities are reclaiming historic places as powerful tools of revitalization. They're preserving the places that tell their stories while creating new opportunities for economic development, cultural expression, entrepreneurship, and community connection. And this project is a powerful example of that work. By investing in places such as these, the National Trust and the African American Cultural Heritage Action Fund are committed to ensuring the full American story is told, and everyone has a chance to learn about our past. These are the stories we see in the New Granada's iconic Art Deco facade and the rear pit, patio, temple entrance, which teaches us about the contributions of generations of African American architects, builders, and craftsmen. Those who are called to create lasting emblems of African American life and community. Creating spaces where culture, pride, grew, and promises of America were nurtured. The historic New Granada stands next to the Maxine C.J. Walker Theater in Minneapolis, Indianapolis, as the expression of how African American architects blend the traditional architectural styles to reflect the unique character and cultural traditions of their communities. In order to pay good attention here in Pittsburgh, African American communities around the country are leaning into the legacy of fraternal organizations that are worldly created, shaping American civic and social life from Birmingham to Atlanta to Indianapolis. Metropolitans, temples, Prince Paul and free and accepted Masons lodges were being repurposed to serve businesses, community, and social uses. By their landmarks remain active centers of the community. There's also opportunity for innovative programs and incorporating the contributions of these organizations and their members and that their members were never forgotten. I too have family, my grandparents.
Can everyone keep it down some? It's really hard for us to hear. Can you keep it down some? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your attention. Now, as I was about to say, this represents my legacy as well as yours in this community. My grandfather was a Mason, my grandmother was an Eastern Star, and these are organizations that need to be remembered, and facilities like these help us preserve the past, so it's honored. The revitalized historic New Granada embodies the power of the community since its acquisition in the 1990s with the support of the Pittsburgh History and Landmarks Foundation. Hill DC has worked tirelessly to advocate for this site's preservation and revitalization as an anchor of the Hill District. This advocacy would not be possible without the support of the local community, whose support brings us to celebrate the completion of this first phase. This is a major milestone work celebration. But celebration does not mean the work is done. The work of legacy truly ensure the next phase of work is completed and celebrated as well. We're encouraged by the determination of the Hill CDC to lead the next phase for the new Granada. While financial close, I'd like to leave a thought on the value of legacy. We're currently mourning the loss of a friend and partner whose photo is at a seat here in front, and tireless advocate for preservation and economic revitalization, Irving Henderson, National Trust Board member, advisory board member, and former Ministry USA Board Chair, who sadly passed away last weekend. Irv was a leading advocate for the power of preservation and the essential role that it plays in revitalizing the places that matter. He worked not to cement the communities in the past, but help shine a light on the possibilities for the future through equitable investment and creative adaptive reuse. We remember Irv and his family in this time of loss and honor him through the historic New Granada. This moment demonstrates what he knew was possible, not only for the Hill District in Pittsburgh, but for the communities across the country. And so today, we celebrate not only what has been restored, but what is being made possible. We celebrate a vision that honors the past, invests in the present, and creates possibilities for generations to come. So thank you, Marinda, for your vision and leadership. And thank you, Hill District CDC, Board Chair Robert Craigman, the University of Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh History and Landmarks Foundation, the Mellon Foundation, and scores of our partners joining together in this endeavor. Congratulations to the Hill CDC, the Hill District community, and everyone whose vision, commitment, and hard work has brought us to this moment. We're proud to stand with you, and we look forward to what comes next. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lena Dastilio, and I'm from the University of Pittsburgh, and I am so happy to be here because it is my honor to introduce for you the 19th Chancellor of the University of Pittsburgh, Joan Gable. That's right. Chancellor Gable leads more than 35,000 students and nearly 16,000 faculty, researchers, and staff across Pitt. Her focus is advancing Pitt's legacy of student success, meaningful research, and commitment to community. Chancellor Gable has guided Pitt through a comprehensive, metrics-driven strategic plan and achieved record highs in enrollment, graduation rates, research expenditures, startups, invention disclosures, and patents filed. She has also elevated the university's national reputation and serves in leadership roles with organizations, including the Association of American Universities, the Association of Public and Land Grant Universities, and the U.S. Council on Competitiveness. Especially important to today's celebration, Chancellor Gable has been an extraordinary champion of Pitt's identity as a community-engaged anchor institution, one deeply connected to Pittsburgh, our region, and the communities that we call home. Our Community Engagement Center here is an important part of that story. Nearly a decade ago, Chancellor Emeritus Pat Gallagher, Dr. Kathy Humphrey, that's right, Paul Sufowitz, Dr. John Wiles, helped to establish the commitment to creating a true front door to Pitt in our neighboring communities. And I had the privilege of helping them to build that with our Neighborhood Advisory Council, our first CEC Director, Kirk Holbrook, and many, many community members here tonight and university partners. Chancellor Gable has carried that work forward, and I know personally how strongly she has supported our commitment here in the Hill District and our belief that engagement has to be sustained and in partnership. So, it is especially meaningful to have her here with us today as we celebrate the opening of the new Granada Theater and Pitt's opportunity through the CEC to be part of the life and future of this extraordinary place. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor Joan Gable.
Well, thank you, Lena. How is everybody tonight? Yes, us too. Me too. I'm so glad and honored to be with all of you tonight. It's my first time in this iconic space, and it's so fun to be able to celebrate this occasion with all of you. And to really think about what it means for us at the university to be your partner, to think about what it means to look at this redevelopment and to have a night like this in the Hill District that we've been building towards for such a long time. I want everyone here to know how proud the University of Pittsburgh is to stand with all of you this evening and for the long term. We are so glad to be here. This building holds nearly a century of Hill District history, and later this evening we're going to have the pleasure of seeing the marquee light back up again on Center Avenue once more, which is going to be an incredible way to close the celebration. But this happens tonight because of the vision of countless Hill District residents and carried on and championed by the Hill Community Development Corporation and by the amazing Marimba Alliance. Let's give her a round. She's inspiring. She inspires all of us. And years ago, the Hill CDC gathered all of you, neighbors, artists, entrepreneurs, young people, around a question of what could this theater become? The named answer was the Center of Connectedness, a place for culture, for opportunity, for cultivation, for science, technology, engineering, and the arts, entertainment all together that could belong to everyone. Where ideas sketched on paper is now a restored facade and a marquee over Center Avenue, 40 homes for artists, space for businesses, and a theater ready to hold this community's next 100 years and beyond. But it's important to note that this achievement is more than a building. It advances the goals the Hill set for itself in its own master plan, and it honors and houses a cultural and creative legacy. It honors and houses the opportunity to start new businesses, and it helps to guide and grow the community's own vision and belongs to the people that shaped it. But the university is very proud to be your partner and your neighbor and be a part and an anchor tenant in this optimistic future. Our Community Engagement Center here is not to bring the university to the Hill, but to be genuinely useful and friendly in the Hill, a place where young people come for STEAM Saturdays and where adults build their skills, digital skills, entrepreneurship, resources, creativity, where faculty have the chance to learn from and support this community and are very grateful for the opportunity to do so. We want to be a good neighbor. I'm joined here tonight by many people from the university, several of our deans, faculty, board members, all of us. We want to be present and collaborative and here for the long term. And we have the great opportunity to do this here and also make that commitment alongside the Hill and Homewood, Oakland, and Greater Hazelwood, which has been incredibly fulfilling for all of us. So friends, it takes a lot of people to bring all of us here together this evening. So on behalf of the University of Pittsburgh and all my colleagues here tonight, I want to add some appreciation to the thanks you've already heard. First, let me start with the residents and community members of the Hill District. We are so grateful to you for this opportunity. And to the members of the Hill District Neighborhood Advisory Council, whose thought partnership with our Hill District CEC team and with the university has shaped this work at every turn. To all of the elected officials here tonight, past and present, city, county, state, and federal level, whose support carried this project across the years it took to reach tonight. And of course, to all of my colleagues at Pitt, past and present, who nurtured this partnership long before this evening arrived. My predecessor, Chancellor Pat Gallagher, Kathy Humphrey, Paul Supowitz, Lena Dostilio, Kevin Washoe, Jamie Dukar, Keith Caldwell, Kelly Rocco, and the director of this Community Engagement Center, and of course to Marimba and the entire Hill CDC team. So with that, I'll say to all of you, thank you. Hail to all of you, hail to possible, and as we like to say, hail to Pitt.
Okay, I'm back up. One last time. I've got two more people to introduce, and I am so excited about this. It is a genuine pleasure for me to introduce someone who is the heart of what we are celebrating today. Marimba Malayans is president. Oh, don't worry, I'm not the only one that's going to give this intro, because it deserves more than one. Marimba Malayans is president and CEO of the Hill Community Development Corporation, and a nationally recognized civic and community development leader. For more than 15 years, she has brought deep expertise in real estate development, historic preservation, economic strategy, and cultural stewardship to the work of shaping the Hill District and the Center Avenue corridor. She has brought partnerships across government, philanthropy, business, and major institutions, helping to bring national attention to the importance of preserving the Hill District's extraordinary cultural assets. Through it all, she has kept the history, aspirations, and people of this community at the center. The new Granada Theater is a particularly powerful expression of Marimba's leadership. She and the board of the Hill CDC carried this extraordinarily complex project through years of planning, funding challenges, construction delays, and, by the way, a global pandemic. And anyone who knows this project knows there were plenty of moments when someone might have suggested scaling back the vision. However, Marimba and the Hill CDC board do not scale back vision. And just as importantly, they have the persistence and follow through to make that vision real, no matter what it takes. And I want to recognize something especially meaningful to those of us from Pitt. Marimba understood what we were trying to create. Not simply a university space in a neighborhood, but a place for sustained partnerships of impact. And she welcomed us into the larger goals for the new Granada and this community. And for that, we are very thankful. Marimba Marimba, we know that this building is a true labor of love. And I'm certainly not the only one who appreciates the magnitude of what this development, what Marimba, and what the Hill CDC's leadership mean to the Hill District community and to Pittsburgh. At this time, Judge Rena Watson will share a reflection connecting the present moment to what has come before and what the future holds. And following, we will hear from Marimba Alliance herself. As Judge Watson takes the podium, I will share she was raised in this community, is a proud graduate of Shenley High School and Howard University, and she and her family continue to live in the Hill today. Please join me in welcoming Judge Rena Watson.
That's what you get when you're from the community. Hey, sis. Don't touch it. Good evening, and God bless each of you, your families, and this awesome project. I want to thank the Hill Community Development Corporation for the honor of allowing me to share some reflections with you today. Am I too loud or can everybody hear me? Before I start, I want you to know that I am standing here as a neighbor. I was raised in the Hill, and before anyone called me judge or had any clue what I would become professionally, this was the home that shaped me. This neighborhood made me long before I put on the road, long before I was a mom, and long before I chaired the City Planning Commission for many years. I have watched this community fight for itself as long as I can remember. And I have watched Marimba Alliance fight for it too. Two things come to mind. I watched her as a planning commissioner sitting on the other side of the table when projects came before us for review. She would be there giving voice to many who couldn't be there for themselves, advocating for the greater good. I also watched her as a neighbor, a resident of this here Hill District, living the outcomes of the decisions made by those in rooms where most people do not get a seat at the table. Not many people get to see both sides of that work. I have. And I can tell you that every bit of progress we've seen in the past 20 years has been built brick by brick, building by building, block by block, and year by year, meeting by meeting. This building also carries my family's history. My father, Judge James Warren Watson, raise your hand, Dad. He is 103 years old. He was born even before this theater was built. He has lived the entire life of this building, from the earliest days as the Pythian Temple through everything that came after. My father also served as bossilus of the Iota Phi chapter of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. That was right here in Pittsburgh. This very chapter that counted Louis A.S. Bellinger, the architect who designed this building, among its charter members. My father did not simply witness this building's history from a distance. He knew of and was fraternally associated with the man who built it. When I asked my father about Mr. Bellinger, he shared three things. During the early years of Omega in Pittsburgh, Brother Lewis Bellinger was the Mr. Omega in the area. He walked, talked, and slept Omega, and was the zealot who nurtured Omega through its early years in this still city. He had a great love for his fraternity and its four cardinal principles: manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. Brother Bellinger was nationally known at the Omega conclaves by brothers throughout Omega land. Due to Bellinger's efforts, the Grand Basilisk Julius McLean saw fit during a time of sentiment against expansion to add 2 new chapters in 1928. The Omicron Psi chapter, an undergraduate chapter at the University of Pittsburgh. Also, he added the Psi chapter in Denver, Colorado. Also, Brother Bellinger was instrumental in the undergraduate chapter that was chartered at the University of Pittsburgh and carried into Duquesne University, where my dad earned his undergraduate and law degrees. Brothers from all ages and skill sets met frequently right down the street at the Center Avenue YMCA and also at the Aleo Wild School. At the conclusion of World War II, there was an Omega redistricting meeting. I'm not skipping dry, sorry. Held in the city of Pittsburgh during November of 1946. Many local Omega men, including Brother Lewis Bellinger, were involved in the war effort. The conference was highlighted by the dance that was held over the Granada Theater, right here. This very same building. Isn't it amazing how we are right here again? Brothers of Omega are known for their resilience. You can't keep a good cue down. Now that thread continues into a third generation. My daughter, Michelle Watson Burns, is also here today, and she has worked with the Hill District, the Hill Development Community Corporation on this very project and others for several years. Hi, Judge Petit. From my father to me to my daughter, this building has quietly run through our family for nearly a century. And there is already a fourth generation coming behind us. My grandbaby, Michelle's daughter, she's sitting over there too. She's 4 years old. I cannot say for certain what she will do when she becomes an adult, but I feel like she will be an advocate for her home community as her family has been. I have the nephew standing out there outside on the other side of the tent. His name is Dorian. He's known as Julio. He grew up on Whiteside Road. There's some Whiteside Road residents here. I know you're on. He's got his 2 children with him also. And when I chaired the planning commission, Whiteside Road was renamed Memory Lane by petition by the residents on Whiteside Road. We have 4 generations of one family touching one building. That is what the Hill District is. It's not just a place where people pass through. It is a place where legacy is developed and holds steadfast. Where one generation hands work to the next, and where a building can outlast a life and still carry a family's lineage in its history. It is fitting then that someone with the same kind of generational commitment in the community is the one that brought this building back. Of course, I'm speaking about Marimba Malines. Marimba comes from that same tradition herself. Her parents, Jake and Margaret Malines, gave their lives to this community. Jake was a civic leader, activist, social scientist. He was the Hill District's first district elected city councilman. Margaret Dobbins Malines was a freedom rider, an educator, a scholar. She was elected as a member of the Pittsburgh School Board. The building right up the street bears her name. We now know it as, I think you prep, it was Heron Hill, but it bears the name of Margaret Malone. Her family was a significant part of this neighborhood and community. Her stepmother, Barbara Sizemore, was a fierce educator. She spent her career devoted to scholarship, Black studies, and the education of children, adults, and teachers. Marimba was raised by people who believed in community and this neighborhood before it was fashionable to say so. She has carried that belief forward passionately and she has carried that belief passionately and remarkably with her own two hands. Before I introduce her to the stage, I want to thank the Hill Community Development Corporation's Board of Directors for their ongoing steadfast leadership of our community development entity, past and present. You are doing a phenomenal job. Let's give the Board of Directors a hand. And that hand is also for the staff. Thank you. This is a lovely event. Thank you on behalf of our entire community. Projects like this building do not happen without sustained commitment behind the scenes and in the trenches. I've watched Marimba's work up close for years. First as chairwoman of the Planning Commission and always as her neighbor. I need to say here that in her first presentation before the commission, presenting a development plan for one of the Hills housing communities, I was so utterly impressed. As I sat watching her that Tuesday afternoon, Marimba awed me. She was highly intelligent and very articulate. She was passionate, but sharp and on point. She knew her facts. She had the numbers. She knew the history, the projections. She knew the benefits that the community would have as well as the city. She was uncommonly outstanding. I was so impressed and very proud. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce a daughter of the Hill District, the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Hill District Community Development, the awesome and amazing Marimba Malone.
Good evening. It's so good to see you all this evening. Thank you all for such amazing reflections and comments. I'm humbled and grateful. And I'm a little bit of a mess right now. I can't begin to tell you in words. This is the hillside. Everybody over here is from the hill. All right, y'all. Here's the thing. We can't really hear up here. So just be mindful, okay? But I do love you. I can't begin to tell you fully in words what this moment means to me. It is truly a grand occasion and it is deeply personal to me. In the spring of 2023, we broke ground on this historic project with great anticipation and an equal part of wide-eyed concern. You know that emoji with the bright, popped out eyes? That was us. We were still trying to figure out a few things here and there, one might say. But here we are, at the completion of this stage of restoration, celebrating a true win. Being stabilized with core foundational development, over 80 tons of steel has been brought into this building. Check. Restoration of the historic Art Deco marquee. Check. The Pythian Temple, honored and commemorated, home to Louis A.S. Villinger's design legacy, and the Colored Knights of Pythia, who commissioned his work. Check. Installation of what I believe is the most memorable facade in Pittsburgh, the Art Deco facade, which will be lit tonight for the first time in over half a century. Check. The second completed piece of the new Granada Square block, following our artist apartments and retail space soon opening, that was originally opened in 2022. Check. A partnership with the University of Pittsburgh that carried the dream of STEAM into a living, breathing program and building. Check. A partnership with Live Nation for the next chapter of this building's life. Check. Survived to talk about it. Check. All of this work would not be possible without the hard-working staff of the Hill Community Development, past and present. If you have been a part of the work to date, thank you. Thank you to our current staff, Brett Miller, our support, Michelle Watson, Nia Armstrong, Ashante Josie, Shelley Jones. Thank you. To the Hill CDC Board of Directors and Roderick Craighead, our chairman, who allowed great work to happen as we bring challenging projects over and over again. You have supported our vision, our passion, and you believe in our ability to deliver. Thank you. To our project team, many of whom are here with us today, and some who are not. Irvin Henderson, whose picture sits right here, in particular, is my oldest teammate at the Hill CDC, or at least he was. I hired him first as a consultant right after I hired an administrative assistant when I started. We grew to be close friends, sharing many wins, lots of tears, and amazing memories. I feel so privileged. I feel so privileged to have been under his tutelage for 20 years. What I learned from Irvin cannot be measured. I loved him because he was a believer. And the truth is, you cannot do this kind of work without being a dreamer and an even bigger doer. He will be both missed personally, organizationally, and nationally. I like to say that, many people say that when an elder of his stature passes, that a giant tree has fallen, but I like to say that many trees were planted because Irvin did not leave anyone or anything he engaged untouched. He was that kind of person. Our partners, Henderson and Company, Grove Community, the Pittsburgh History and Landmarks Foundation, Milton Ogotten, the DLR Group, A. Martini and Company, and Russell General Contracting, thank you. Thank you for your partnership. You've been incredible. What a ride. Our funders, I'm going to start with the Hillman Foundation because it is not just that they invested, it is how they invested. With creativity and purpose and responsiveness to the needs of the project, the flexibility that they displayed, I believe, is the future of philanthropy. Thank you to our friends at the Hillman Foundation. I see Ty Gorley and Alex Taylor in particular. You just wave so that we can all thank you. Thank you to the Richard King Mellon Foundation, the Heinz Endowments, the Allegheny Foundation, the Mellon Foundation, the Pittsburgh Penguins Foundation, and, of course, the Eden Hall Foundation. Thank you to the National Trust for Historic Preservation and the African American Cultural Heritage Action Fund. Some of you may not have been able to hear the comments of Mr. Bill Bates, but he was laying out some really important history around the role that the African American Cultural Heritage Action Fund plays, not just in communities like the Hill District, but all over the country, restoring projects like John Coltrane's childhood home, Nina Simone's home, Polly Murray's home. Their work and their legacy is incredible, and they are just getting started on that mission. To the residents of the Hill District, past and present, thank you for never letting go of what this block could be. And to my family, especially my husband, Richard Taylor, who has supported his very own in-house dreamer, probably for longer than he cared to count. Thank you. I don't know where Richard is, but he's always in the wings. Thank you. I love you. Before I wrap up, I have to speak to the power of imagination. Because who would have thought that a 20-year-old girl, I was kind of a girl at the time, would stroll into a community development organization to share her passion for tech and training, only to be recruited to the board, and for that seed to bloom 20 plus years later into this. I spent my childhood on the University of Pittsburgh's campus. Judge Watson talked about my parents' legacy. She didn't mention explicitly that they were professors at the University of Pittsburgh. All three of them. As a child of the Hill District who grew up watching community and academia work as one, all three of my parents, Margaret Lyons, Jake Lyons, and Barbara Sizemore, were professors in what was the university's Black Studies department, now Africana Studies. And it was there that I learned the power that can exist between community and universities, particularly where it relates to liberatory learning and education. From them, I learned something I will carry with me always, that education is powerful, especially when the community is centered. That same imagination is what turned a room full of believers into a building full of programming like the STEAM task force and what we see now in the Pitt CDC. In January of 2016, a task force of regional leaders gathered around one question, the question that Chancellor Gable pointed out. What could this building become, and what specifically should the third floor be? The University of Pittsburgh joined in that vision not long after, and today, the Community Engagement Center lives inside those walls. I want to reiterate what Lena has already pointed out. Lena Gastilio pointed out that we had some original teammates, Dr. Kathy Humphrey, Paul Supplewitz, John Wiles, and then Lena Gastilio came in with her fire and energy, right along Dr. Humphrey's fire and energy at the time. And then you can imagine the three of us in a room. And then followed additional team members and our new chancellor, Dr. Gable, Keith Caldwell, Jamie Ducar, Kelly Provo, and her team. Thank you for believing a dream could become what it has become at the Pitt CDC. And now the dream keeps going tonight. Stay with us as we light the marquee for the first time in half a century. Walk through building tours. Some of you may or may not be able to go on all of the tours, depending on if you registered, okay? But the Pitt CEC space will be open during tours, and we will be doing second phase tours down on Center Avenue, okay? And we'll be dancing in the street with our DJ tonight. So come and join us in this celebration of what we built, what we are celebrating, and what the Hill District has always known is possible. Thank you. Director of the Pitt CDC in the Hill District.
Hey everyone, I am the last one to go, so bear with me. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Kelly Provo, and I have the honor of serving as the director here at Pitt's Community Engagement Center in the historic Hill District community. I first and foremost want to thank everyone for joining us tonight to celebrate this incredible milestone. Looking around and seeing so many community members, partners, university colleagues, and friends gathered together really makes this moment even more meaningful. It's also very special to have my mom here, who has called this community home for over 70 years. I also want to welcome Congresswoman Summer Lee, who is joining us today. It is really truly an honor for Pitt's Community Engagement Center to serve as the anchor tenant in the beautiful New Granada Theater. This building really carries so much history, and we recognize just what it represents to the Hill District community. Thank you to Marimba and the entire Hill Community Development Corporation for your partnership, your collaboration. It's so exciting that we're able to call this extraordinary building home. Please bear with me for just a couple more minutes, you all in the back. We are equally honored to be a part of this neighborhood, not just as a community or university presence, but as your neighbor here in the Hill District. Our commitment is to bring together Pitt faculty, as you can see, staff, students, community residents, and organizations to really build meaningful partnerships that benefit everyone involved. I'd also like to extend a special thank you to our Pitt collaborators in residence. We have Jazz Studies here for bringing the outstanding Tony Campbell Quartet, who will be playing for us as soon as I sit down. We also have the Center for African American Poetry and Poetics. They are helping to make this celebration so special. The partnerships really reflect the historic New Granada's creativity and culture, and the type of collaboration that we hope will continue to define this space. And of course, I want to give a big thank you to my wonderful staff, to Shay, Habit, and Kaylee. And also to our Neighborhood Advisory Council for guiding this work for more than 5 years. So special thank you to you all. All right, so what happens next? Well, for the CEC, we are excited to kick off a full slate of programming and opportunities right behind me in our new space. You can visit our website to find a full calendar of events, and we look forward to seeing you in person. Come by and see us, and maybe even partnering with you very, very soon. So on behalf of Chancellor Joe Gable, the University of Pittsburgh, our staff, and our many community partners, thank you for celebrating this historic occasion with us. This Community Engagement Center belongs to the community as much as it belongs to the university. And we look forward to building lasting relationships, creating those new opportunities that Marimba was speaking of, and making a meaningful impact together for many years to come. Thank you, enjoy the rest of your evening, and welcome to the University of Pittsburgh's Community Engagement Center in the Hill District.
We are about to do the ribbon cutting, and I want to take a moment before we do that to recognize these beautiful awards that we have for our funders and our partners. These awards are made out of the prior facade. So this green panel that you see here, you all see that? This is the actual historic facade. So we have a number of awards for our partners and our funders and our financiers, and we want you to come up and be sure to receive your award after the ribbon cutting ceremony. Thank you.
All right, I gotta move everything. I'm gonna grab mine, but I ain't grabbing everything. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I have to, excuse me. Could you get through? I need to record with it. Okay. All right. Thank you. Excuse me. Hold on the count. Wait a second. Excuse me. I need to record for their social media. I can't. I have to get everybody.
Can you just slide down?
Sorry.
Yeah, perfect.
1, 2, 3.
You gotta do it again. The video camera thing. Catch it up.
All right. Big wow. I'm like,